Good afternoon. Welcome to the build-up show. We're just doing an hour live early. You okay there, mate?
Yeah, it was just you rapping to Kendrick Lamar.
There you go,
You
man.
just took me over the edge.
You weren't
No, but he
expecting-
said spit it out.
No.
That'd be schoolboy.
You weren't
Or
expecting to
schoolgirl.
open the show like that, were you?
Put your top back on, you'll lose all that. You Dr. Pepper?
I was thinking, what will I lose? I'm like, looking at what does Ped know that I don't? Or are we still talking about today? There you go. Yeah, Wolves away. Big one. It's the big one.
Again.
12,000 at Mullingan tonight. It's a big one. But this is an opportunity, isn't it? It's a big
magic of the cup.
opportunity. Do it.
Magic of the cup.
There's a big opportunity for Everton tonight to go to Mullingan to get through.
I still believe that the League Cup should be played in a group stage. I still believe...
Never get out of the group.
Right. I still believe that if the League Cup was a group stage, right, 4 teams, and then you went straight into like the semis or something. I don't know what the maths are. Right.
On that without any
I don't know what the maths are.
Quite clearly, you couldn't just have 14.
Right. Someone work it out for me. Someone work it out for me, right? Okay. Yeah. So you play your first game, right? If you get through that, then you go into a group stage, right? 4 games guaranteed. 3 games guaranteed, sorry.
Feels like you're having more games. For fun.
No, 3 games, 4 teams in the group, right? Or whatever. Because I think the big problem is, like, tonight Everton will want to play different players, and those players won't have played, right? So it's a good opportunity, but it's also like one of those where you're like, if you're playing someone like Mansfield, it's great, but you're playing another Premier League team, it suddenly becomes really difficult, doesn't it? Which we saw last year. Get a group stage, and then you know then, don't you? You know how it's going to work.
No, because if it was a group stage, then Grimsby wouldn't get through. But they've got through now because
No, hang on, mate. Hang on. What have I just said?
What? You said the reverse of it.
No. You get through that game. And
The
then
second round.
You go into
and
the
then
group.
you're in a group
with,
stage.
right?
Isn't it a round before the round that
Whatever they can have. Yeah, and they're through. So
Yeah,
they're
but
through.
they've got through,
and
haven't
now their reward for beating Manchester United
Will
and
be
Sheffield
3 games.
Wednesday is games.
But that'd be 3 rounds then, wouldn't
But then they get to play 3 games and they'll get loads of money out of it.
it? Yeah.
So, to me, right, I think that makes more sense because we want to play players. But at the same time, it's like, well, do you go strong tonight? And don't play those players. And, okay, get through maybe. Or do you play those players and then... Because we always seem to come a cropper at this stage when we've bought players in the summer. It's like every year we've done it. Players get introduced and they've never settled. They've never played together, so you know it's going to be a struggle in the first half. So I'm advocating for the League Cup to have a group stage. How about those apples?
It's whether the numbers work, isn't it? So we're already through. So now we're in the last 32, aren't we? So you'd have to have 4. You'd have to have 8 groups of 4. Which would be another 3 games to get you to a quarter-final stage. But that would be an extra game than if you'd already got through. And they're trying to reduce the games, aren't they?
Well,
I get what you're saying. What you're saying, I understand. And it makes... And I think it's good for that reason. It's good for squad players and for... But I just don't see it. But it seems like... You know, say like Liverpool, their lowest priority will be this cup, won't it? You know, they want the Premier League, they want the Champions League. This is number 4 on their list, and this would be a good opportunity. I'm sure they will tonight anyway, but a good opportunity for them to play all the players you aren't starting and some younger players, as well as other clubs.
Also, I've seen people in the comments say people want less games. Well, it's not less games, is it? Because if we work this out properly and you have exactly the same amount of games, right?
Can't have a group.
Right,
It's one extra game.
In the
that's it.
European teams.
One
Right, so
extra
it's
game.
one extra game if you got to the final. So what's the difference? It's not less games. If Liverpool get to the final like they did last year, they're not playing less games. And because it's a group stage, you can rotate your players even better. I think it works.
What about the Champions League format now?
But even that,
Big league.
a big league.
Graham says, though, yeah, but the European teams should go straight into the group because that's what happens now.
Yeah. But that's what I
They'd
was.
all still
That's
be
what I was sort of. Yeah, but that's the kicker, isn't it?
But they're already doing that anyway, aren't they?
Yeah,
sort
so it
of
doesn't
thing?
make a
So
difference.
That doesn't really alter that. They be straight in. It just be basically everything we've just done. Only now we'd be in a group with Wolves and I don't know whoever else is in it, still in it. In one respect, it takes the pressure off, doesn't it? Because you can't play those players, and if you get beat tonight, you've got 2 other chances to put it right, maybe. But yeah,
Because I think we were talking about yesterday. The beauty about the European competitions now for those teams is, especially Europa and conferences, they get to heavily rotate. Like, I know they would anyway, but they get to do it anyway, don't they? Because a Forest or a Palace or whatever, they have to like just win their own games and they're through, aren't they? That's so they get to play all their different players and that helps them in the league. So it's like, it's annoying.
Z4C says, nah, Pet, have a goal deduction for clubs joining the competition late. So if the shite join in round 4, they start the game 3-0 down.
Like a handicap.
Imagine
handicap,
that.
yeah.
Amazing.
Or just put like
that and go, what,
or
3-0
a proper
down?
handicap, like horses. Put like weights on them.
Be interesting.
That would be interesting, like a little weighted bodysuit. Salah trying to get past, but he's like, because he's so good, gets weighted to a point.
Probably be all right, wouldn't he?
Fat suit.
Ounce on him, has he? See, I personally don't think that the European team should be in it.
No, I don't. But they're never going to
I think
allow.
you're in a competition already and you want less games, don't go in this. Do you know what I mean?
Or they have to play it under 21 side.
Or just play the under 21 side. Because it's brilliant for their under 21s. If you're not really that Liverpool really bothered. If Southampton beat them on penalties tonight, would Liverpool care? They wouldn't, would they? Slotted.
But teams like Newcastle and stuff do care.
Yeah, but they're in Champions League this year. I don't know whether they will care.
They cared when they won it last year.
Yeah, because they weren't in the Champions League, were they?
But they went like 60 odd years.
You have to, but you have to, like, when they were in the Champions League, they tried to take everything on, and it ruined December. Their season was finished in December. You have to have a balance, don't you?
They won it last year in the season where they weren't in Europe, which is why they won it.
No, I know, but if you're like a Newcastle, you've got way bigger of a chance winning the Carabao Cup than you have the Champions
but it doesn't
League.
bring in any money, does it?
Yeah.
If you said to them, though, you can win the Carabao Cup from now, I know they'd won it last year, but they weren't in Europe. That's what we're saying. But if you said to Newcastle this year, you can win the Carabao Cup again, or you can get to the quarters of the Champions League. They're taking the Champions League, aren't they?
Every year.
Because it's 100 million quid.
And because they have won that, Sophie,
and they just won it.
They've got it, they did it, haven't they?
I just think if you're asking these teams who cry arsing about, Everton aren't cry arsing about playing too many games, are they? Because we don't. Yeah. We played the 38 league games and 4 or 5 cup games generally, if we're lucky, right? But if I'm in Europe and I've got an extra 15 games, if I get like Chelsea played 15 games, I think, in the Conference League and won it last year, I don't need the Carabao Cup because I've got the Conference League, and the Conference League then gets me guarantees me a Europa League spot if I win it. If I do well in the league and get in the Champions League, then great. But I'm in there. Whereas the Carabao Cup to Chelsea is nothing other than an opportunity to play under 21 players and things. And so you're either, to me, they're the only 2 solutions. They're either not in it or they're in it as an under 21 side, because that'll stop them.
But the thing about it is, if they weren't in it, they'd insist that it didn't have a European place. That's what they do, wouldn't they? They'd say, we're not in it, so it shouldn't have a European place. So kick the European place back to the league. And then less people would take it even less serious then. So it's so, this is where football is now, isn't it? There's like...
But that should be a vote, though.
No, it should be, but
I don't know, because I think the Football League would fight for that really hard.
Yeah, but they'd also fight for the teams not to be in it either, wouldn't they?
If I'm all right,
to be fair, Liverpool, Arsenal, and City will play massively unstrengthened teams.
When it gets to the business end, all the first teams coming.
No, of course they do,
don't they? Whereas it should be, if you sign up for it, it's an under 21 team the whole way through. really. Or say maybe like two first team players can play, but the rest are, because you're already getting a huge amount of games. If you're Liverpool, like if Everton had won the Premier League and were doing well in Champions League, I wouldn't be asked if Everton were in it. So if they went, it's an Everton under 21 side, and say Paul Tate has to take it. So it's great. It's great sort of experience for him and things like that. The crowd, it's still a fixture. It's just that, if Everton were drawing their own against the Premier League club, people would still go if there was like the under 21s plus 2 players who weren't playing. But most of us wouldn't be bothered, would we really? We'd want Everton to win it, of course, and all of that, but it wouldn't really, it'd take, priority-wise, it'd be way down, because we're already playing European games every other week, and there's loads of games you almost want a little bit of a breather.
It's so annoying as well,
like
because what's so annoying about it is for clubs like Everton and like other clubs like us, because we do our business late as well, we don't get that chance to bring those players in early, get them into the squad, have them fighting for the places for the first game of the season. So this game and the game previously become big opportunities, and then that leaves you on that edge of like, do we go strong or do we go? Because as we said yesterday, the amount of times we've been knocked down and out in this round because the manager's felt like he's had to rotate. He has to give players a game because he needs to see what they're like. And it's all just like, it just all flows, doesn't it, from the same thing. Whereas the bigger clubs in the Champions League, for the most part, don't have to worry about any of that. And that's where it becomes so frustrating. So, yeah, it's just like, yeah. Hopefully, listen, whatever the team we put out tonight, hopefully it's strong enough to go and beat a Wolves side who might do the same, but who knows, because they've not won a game yet, so they might go strong, just thinking, right, we can win this game. It gives us that little kickstart to the season, and we haven't lost another game.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity for them, but it's a great opportunity for Everton. We haven't won for 2 games now, so spin that round tonight, get a result, win, and it sets us up next Monday for West Ham. And we can, of course, we can win it. We've just got to, whatever team he picks, have got to go out and do the business. And when you're looking at, the players who are coming in, I've just been asked by Adam, was like, what, will you go strong tonight? And I was like, well, players who are going to come in are good players. Like, Tyler Dibblings should be starting tonight. Played 33 times in the Premier League last season. Starts and sub appearances. Charlie Alcaraz should be starting tonight for me. Played in the Premier League last season for Everton on a number of occasions and didn't let us down. All right, Mail Roll, I don't know if he's fit.
Yeah.
But if he's fit, he should be starting. Okay, but this is a 23-year-old. He's not 18. 23-year-old playing Bundesliga. Come on against Villa, didn't look out of depth. Tieno Barry, it's come from one of Europe's top 5 leagues. Played at the under-21 Euro. He's done well when done well against Brighton and all that. So he's not even a thing. So, and he's not a drop-off at all from Beto, is he, to be honest? So these are players who all should be getting in and starting tonight. The only one where you look and go, he probably needs to play, and he's a gamble, is Adam, hasn't he? Because we've not seen enough of him.
Yeah.
That's why he's a gamble.
Yeah.
He's a talented footballer, we've seen that. But we haven't seen him in a competitive game, and we'll have to obviously wait and see. But that's the only sort of one where I look at and think, could be a little bit of a gamble, that. The others aren't. I don't know whether the manager will play Dwight McNeil. I don't know whether the manager will play Tim Irabunum. But both of those play in the Premier League. So, McNeil more than Irabunum. So they're not sort of gambles. He knows what he's getting off them. Is Seamus going to play and Jake O'Brien be out? Or is Tahi not going to play and Jake O'Brien's going to shift across and be sent? We'll have to wait and see. But if you can go too far the other way, can't you, in trying to get players minutes where you end up making 7, 8 changes. Like you said, no one's used to playing with each other. Therefore, you get a disjointed performance. You can see the goal, and we've all been there with the Carabao Cup. We've seen it forever, But I think personally, I'd be making
You've got the back. I mean, to me,
I wouldn't change Pickford.
4 at the 5 at the back 4 stay the same, and it is as new. Then that makes sense to me.
Is there a possibility that he plays Patterson at left back?
Possibly. I mean,
he played against Arsenal.
I just don't think he's playing Michaelenko tonight.
That's what I mean. I don't
think Michaelenko plays. Doesn't mean Asnu plays, but he could play Patterson left back and look at it like that. Give him some game time.
I'd rather Asnu played, I think.
No, I would. But but we don't know what the level is, do we?
No.
But he's,
he sees him every day. Maybe he's not pulling up.
But I think if he's next to at least 3 players and a goalkeeper who play all the time, and he's got Jack Grealish ahead of him, let's just say, because I will play Jack Grealish, then it makes, that to me makes sense.
Interesting. It's going to be interesting. But that is good that I don't believe the drop-off's going to be big with any changes.
I don't think there's a drop-off. I think it's more the fluidity of the team, isn't it? It's more how players play with each other. They're not playing with each other week in and week out. They're not just coming in and going out. And that's that side of things where other teams further up the table have that ability to just drop one and take one out.
But he could look at it and go, well, we're not playing again till Monday. After tonight, we've got to rest. Players will have a day off or whatever. And then we start building towards Monday night. Therefore, I'll play Barry instead of Beto. And I don't know, maybe it's Njai out and Dibbling in, and that's it. Maybe, and everyone else is the same. I don't know with Michaelenko. I think you're probably safer just not playing him.
Yeah.
Tonight and just let him recover properly. Yeah. But could be 1 or 2. The manager could think, no, we make a couple of changes. I'm going to get through this. We get through this. Being the 4th round, we might get a home tie in the 4th round, and then all of a sudden you're thinking, okay, get a favourable home tie after you've got through this. You start thinking, we've got a chance to do something. And a couple of years ago, we ended up getting to the quarters, didn't we? We had the tricky one of Villa, which we won. We ended up getting to the quarters. And we lost the penalty shootout to Fulham, which we shouldn't have done.
Yeah.
But it just shows you if you can get, big result. And tonight will be, I don't care how bad Wolves are or how whatever, and the crowd and all that. It's a tricky game and it'd be a big win. Go there and win. Get through. And like you say, then it's put your feet up while the draw's made, and hopefully we get a home tie against a lower league team. And then you start looking, going, we can see the quarters here. Yeah. At least, and then that's it. That's decent. Yeah. It's decent, but we've got to do the job tonight. Villa, I said it at the time, there was 2 points dropped. And obviously the Liverpool results at the weekend has magnified that 2 points we blew against Villa. Especially seeing the way they were against Sunderland as well. It was a big opportunity wasted. So let's not waste these next 3 opportunities, which is 3 wins. They're all there. West Ham are home, very, very, very winnable. Palace at home's winnable. Palace are decent, but they're not amazing. That's very winnable. And tonight is the most winnable of all at the moment, because it's the one that's right in front of us. They're losing games. They've got no confidence. The crowd not turning up is never a good thing when you're struggling as well. So it's whether Everton can get on the front foot right away, and if they can, and get at them immediately. Don't do what we did at Saturday, which is try and feel our way into the game. Don't do what we did at Leeds, which is let the opening 15, 20 minutes just because you keep giving the ball away and you're bombarded. Go out, which is what we did do at Molineux, actually. We went out and put our stamp on it immediately, got on the front foot, and they didn't really recover.
No.
Don't give them cheap goals. Yeah. That's the key, innit?
Don't give them stupid goals.
It'd be lovely for Tierney Barry to get off the mark tonight as well. Tap in. I mean, great for him to score a cracker, but a little tap in from a yard would do him the world of good just to get him up and running, and then, take it from there. Because with a good side, we've got good players and we've got a very good manager, but you've got to go and start producing.
I mean, goals are the worry, aren't they? That's the thing that we have to start making more chances and make more chances and see how the forwards react to it in front of goal, because that is what we're struggling with. I think that's the thing where we're just, I don't know, just a lot of straightforward chances. We just don't seem to get it. But I mean, Depends who they fall to, I suppose, at times. I just want to see some very straightforward goals. I mean, that's all, isn't it?
And what I'd love to
A lot
see
of creative
tonight,
players.
I'd love to see a corner curled in and one of our players just head it in. One cross, bang, head a goal, and just like, that's how you do it.
Yeah.
And start making teams concerned about us off set plays, because they're terrible at the moment. The set pieces are terrible, and like you said, I think on the final word, it's like very unmoist, like how bad we are off set plays, isn't it? I'm still not having. I've seen someone say, well, we just need to put McNeil back in the team, and then but it's like it isn't special teams.
Yeah.
You've got to be good enough to play in the team and contribute. But those players who are playing are all professional footballers. You're an elite footballer to play in the Premier League, so you must be able to kick a ball into an area with a bit of zip on it. You've got to be able to. Yeah. So why aren't we doing it? So that is work for me. That's work on the training ground. These players like Beckham years ago, Trent Alexander-Arnold now, spend hours on the training ground. Just Ronaldo, I'm still seeing videos of Ronaldo doing 41 or whatever he is, still practicing free kicks after training for half an hour after training, one after the other, the same thing, time and time again. His kid's doing it. His kid scored one, didn't he, the other day? 25-yarder. But it's there, repetition, every day. So that when you're in that position in a game, it's just muscle memory. You put it down and you stick it where you want it. Yeah. We had years ago, last trophy we bleeding won, we had Andy Hinchcliffe bombing corners in, at pace, and people getting little nicks in. Baines was good at it. Luca Dean was excellent at it. These are players, Dwight McNeil's been good at it, sticking it at the back post. Where's that gone? Yeah.
It does come down to delivery, doesn't it? And a bit of imagination as well for some of them. Needs to be thought about. And if they're not happening if it's not happening, then it needs to be looked at. It needs to be looked at, doesn't it? It needs to be something. He obviously had the set piece coach in the last season, but didn't really add anything too much to it.
For all we know, he come up with some great ideas and the delivery was crap. Because Moyes did bang on about the delivery, didn't he? But he wasn't a specialised set piece coach, a manager, isn't he? He's a coach and a manager. I think Charlie Adam, that's what he wanted to do. So I think you either go all in and get an actual specialised set piece coach who's been doing it for years, and you get him in. You just come up with them yourself, and then you spend hours doing it. Gary Ward says, Harley. Josh says, judging from the amount of seats Wolves have sold tonight, we could outnumber them in the ground. I don't think so. They're allegedly expecting 11 or 12,000. There's only 3,000 Everton fans going. 3,000 will be in the Everton end. There could be other Evertonians elsewhere in the stadium, of course. Don't wear your colours. Adam says, afternoon, gents. Steve P says, off topic, but Ped, you need to watch the new series on Sky. He's watched it and he didn't like it.
That Task.
Called Task with Mark
miserable,
Ruffalo.
mate. It was just, I couldn't get through the first episode, mate. It was just too miserable.
Episode 3's come out and it's looking 80. It's by the same creators as the Mayor of Easttown.
I know.
Very good. HBO and Next Level when it comes to crowds.
It was just miserable, mate. It's very, very miserable.
I like Mark Ruffalo as well. I do like Mark Ruffalo, I must admit. I'm not into misery though.
It was pure misery.
Like, I like gritty crime dramas. I don't mind them. And talking of miserable, and you're watching I watch the Nordic ones, and it's bleak, it's grey, some of them, or snow, or just winter, and the bridge and all that, but none of it's just depressing and miserable. See, Nathan says, do you think, guys, we'll be more in contact with the club regarding access to things, players' info? Now you're in contact with Angus Kinnear. Congratulations on the interview. Been following since day one. So glad to see how you've grown. Well, thank you very much, Nathan. I don't know, was the answer. Hope so. It was a really positive step. If the man running the football club can see value in coming in and doing stuff and giving up his time to come in and do stuff with us, then I don't see how anyone else in the football club can play that down or say there's no value in it.
Yeah.
You know, Angus Kinnear is very good at this. He was good at it while he was at Leeds. And he knows the numbers that we get. So I'm under no illusion if we only got a couple of 100 views, he probably wouldn't have come in and seen us. Because that's just how, at the end of the day in this, you play the numbers game. Everybody plays the numbers game. It's why Sky get the biggest interviews, mostly because their numbers are bigger than others. So if the fella at the very top of the football club can recognise how big the channel is and the views it gets by Evertonians who watch it, and therefore knows that he's speaking directly to Evertonians when he's on, then I don't understand how other people could devalue that within the football club when your boss has actually seen the value of it. Do you know what I mean? So I hope that that's the case, Nathan. I hope they recognise the work we do here. I think it's more the amount of people who watch and comment and get their views across, which is what we portray. We've got our own, but more often than not, our conversations are born out of your comments, people in the comments, and what is fed back to us from Evertonians. So I would like to think it'd be the start of a new era at the football club. And I'm sure as Angus goes through the club and makes changes and gets more people in who are probably more savvy at times or are used to this kind of thing, then maybe that's how it'll grow. But he was brilliant, and he gave up his time, and like I said, he never had the questions, anything like that. He sat down and answered everything that sort of threw at him. And that was, I thought he was really, really good. He's had loads of positive comments from it, and rightly so, because basically all I did was ask him the questions. It was his answers. And I thought he was excellent, if I'm being perfectly honest. So, and he will be doing it again. So, I don't know whether you've got anything to add on that, Ped, but I hope it's the start of a different sort of relationship with the football club.
No, it's just, yeah. Other people have to play the same game. That's all it is, isn't it?
Well, I thought that interesting. Luke, who I do the overlap with, he's the Man City fan. Man City had him on the side of the pitch at the Emirates on Sunday. Just doing a piece for them, which I thought was interesting. He's gone down to watch the game, but he's done a bit of work with Manchester City. I know they're excellent. They're like the forerunners in this city. They've had Stephen, who we both know, Steve McElhenney, has done stuff for them. And they in fact, they had him on the bus when they won the league and everything, doing stuff. So City, as they have been on the football pitch, offered him a street ahead of everybody. With that, and recognise the importance if there's a link to the fan base and stuff. So I'd like to see Everton catching that up. But when you've got a CEO who is prepared to give up his time, which he did, to come out of his way, which he did, to come into our studio and not want the questions, sit down and was open and honest about it. And what was really good about him was he was a little bit late, and he came in and said, no, I'll make that time up because I was late. And I thought that was, you know, for some people that might be a big thing, but I know him, what we know, and we've been doing it for long enough. That is a bit of a rarity, I think, in this.
Could easily have used as an excuse to get out of here early.
Easy. And he didn't. He was like, no, I was late.
And other people still would.
Yeah.
Other people still would.
I think when you've got someone at the very top who's running your club, who sees the value, then you're going to be a very brave or very naive person if you start to undermine what your CEO has done. And I think that's the view City have got. City sort of look at it and go, where is the next thing? And how do we keep the story of Manchester City bouncing around? And I think they do it really well. So hopefully it isn't a new relationship. Hopefully.
Just has to be built on.
Yeah.
Just has to be built on.
Yeah.
It's it'd be nice to have a sit down and just discuss a few other things.
Yeah,
that
plans.
Not on camera, just sit down and discuss a few other things that we could help with or be part with or whatever.
Or where we can get better.
Yeah,
you know, their advice, whatever.
I'm not sure I'd take that, but you know, there could be lots of opportunities if they want to provide opportunity. We can't do things off our own back for lots and lots of things.
Well, we're already back in the process with the Premier League, so we'll see where that takes us. But we're down the road with that. We'll see what comes of that. But that is a very old, draconian, and quite frankly, out of date.
Well, it's massively out of date. Massively out of date. Especially when in a day and age when most of the media around the world is coming from people with their phones. Millions and millions of followers doing their own thing, being invited to World Cup finals, Champions League finals, whatever it is to cover, and yet the Premier League still exists in this weird bubble of
you need a pen and a piece of paper.
You need to have written a few articles. I understand that keeps certain things honest, but it's just crazy. I'll never understand how they haven't moved with the times and realised that channels like ours are pulling in millions of views, millions and millions of followers.
Our views are crazy compared to written journalists like
but also other people's views are crazy compared to ours. You've got Mark Goldbridge with the Bundesliga rights because they understand that on a Friday he's going to be sitting there talking about it, bringing his audience to watch it. And he'll talk about it during the week because he wants more people to be involved in it, so they understand it when he gets to a Friday night when he's he's protecting his own thing, and that helps them. Okay, the numbers might be amazing at the moment, but you're just building, aren't you?
You're getting eyes, though, aren't you?
You're getting eyes on something, and people just want to go under what Mark Goldbridge is going to say today. It's the same thing. It's like understanding your audience. The audience now is for everything. It's out. The genie's out the bottle. It's as simple as that on all of it. We don't sit down, we don't put suits on, and we don't all just, go through it like the old school. And
you don't go out and buy newspapers to read.
But that's it. But that's number one. But even TV, people don't watch TV the same way anymore. You watch things in your own way, and some people do understand that. Look at like the CBS coverage of Champions League. 3 ex-players and the host just sitting around, basically just having a big laugh and a big chat. And we see a little bit of it on Sky, but CBS I think have cracked it with Micah Richards, Henry, and Jamie Carragher. And it's that's
CBS have cracked it because it's not an all Liverpool cast, which Sky,
no.
Sky and the BBC.
No, but what it isn't though, it's not a stiff upper lip thing about talking to football. When you watch a lot of American sports, it's a little bit like that as well. It's just like people don't want to watch stuff like that because people don't have the attention spans. Channel 5 are doing a thing at the moment. I'm not sure how. Channel 5 have got NFL, and it's like watching YouTubers, but it's not YouTubers. It's Dermot O'Leary and like people who like NFL sitting around talking about NFL, and then the NFL's on. So it's just an entertainment show surround with NFL because they're just like, if you want people to watch this, the serious people will probably put Sky on and watch the proper people. But if you want like the average person who just doesn't know much about it, who wants to be entertained, they're sticking that on. And that's just the way it's going. And if clubs in the Premier League don't realise that, then and you want to keep this stiff upper lip, they need to chill out a little bit because they're just going to lose audiences. They're going to lose the audience.
They're out of touch
to other sports. The Premier League is going to lose not the audience as such, but how you present it. You don't present it in a certain way, people just go, I can't be arsed with this.
Yeah. Bill says his role fit. I don't know. Is the answer, mate? I've no idea. No. I hope he is, but I don't know. Fletcher says still frustrated with a few of the manager's decisions the other night. We need a Moyes bounce back as soon as to get over the hurt at losing at Liverpool and Anfield. A mediocre decision making from the ref and the timing of the subs. Okay.
I've said that for ages though. I've said for ages that there should be a clock in the stadium that goes to 90 minutes, and it should be stopped every time.
Dermot Gallagher was saying it should only be 35 minutes each way.
Dermot
And
Gallagher,
it should stop every time the ball goes out.
it should be a 90-minute clock on the stadium, and every time there is a stoppage, the clock should stop, and you play to 90 minutes. And because I've said this before, you play a game of football, you use the time to your advantage, right? And suddenly the ball goes up, you have this mental thing in your head, it affects everyone, it affects the crowd, and suddenly on the 90th minute, this magic ball comes up, and a number goes on it, and nobody knows what that number is till it goes up. And it throws everything out. So what happens if it goes up and suddenly it's 9 minutes, right? And you've used your last sub and whatever. But it's the manager, for me, and the players should know exactly how long left so they can manage the game properly. I know people go, that's crazy, but in this day and age, at the highest level, when we've got things like VAR, goal line technology, offside technology, the time for me is one of the biggest thing. I just find it, if Everton at the weekend and it, the clock stopped and you knew exactly how long, that might determine your tactics going into the last 10 minutes. And the manager might be sitting there going, right, I'm not going to make this sub till the 86th minute because I know there's an extra 7 minutes. So we're going to get 15 minutes or whatever, or 13 to 15 minutes of this player coming on, right? And then he sees there's only 3 minutes left and he's like, hang on, I thought there was going to be more time because of that sub, and that sub. Or you might go, or if you've got a player on who's fatigued or whatever, you might go, I'll play him. I know there's only a certain amount of time left or whatever. I just think for the highest level, there should be a match clock in the stadium and it just goes to 90 minutes. That to me just makes so much common sense in this day and age.
Jerry the Jock says, with not knowing how the Bit Part players' performance and fitness levels are, do you not think all of the Premier League teams have the same issue? Therefore, why isn't there a reserve league system set up as it benefits all? Premier League, with its billions, because he easily fund this with extra referees, policing, etc. For what it's worth, I may come down from Scotland for particular reserve games, but wouldn't cross the border for under 21 games. Well, we spoke about this last week. Was it me and you speaking about it? Wasn't it?
We spoke about that
last week. About the reserve league. It's like the worst thing they ever did was get rid of it. Under 20, I was watching. You and John were live, weren't you, on Friday, and Everton were playing. So I had the under 21 game on against Villa. It was rubbish. It was non-contact. I remember Aston Villa player done a brilliant tackle. Well, it was a good tackle. It was a really good tackle. He won the ball. And then he caught Everton wing, Justin Clark, I think it was. He caught him. It wasn't a bad tackle, but he won the ball brilliantly. And the referee was like running over with arms, flailing and everything to book him. And it's like, it was just a normal tackle that he'll probably receive playing league football. Yeah. And yet you're making it out to him like it was a terrible tackle on you. So that what happens when those lads then go on loan and are getting kicked like that, and they're like, what's happening here? And the play's going on or whatever. And I just think it's so sanitised, the game at that level, that you're not giving these lads a chance to step up. We're seeing in
this National Cup, aren't we? Like, there's this idea that loads of people have of the under 21s being like the level below the Premier League. So when someone does well, the natural thing is get them in the first team. And yet these lads are playing in that National Cup and they look, whether it be Everton or other teams, they look so, a lot of them look so small. But there's such a naivety to the way they play because of those reasons.
I was looking at some of the scores last week from like the Virtu and all that, and like, sure, Liverpool got beat like 4-0 or something by, 4-1 or something by, like, wasn't these, but, someone like Burton Albion, one of them, and you see Villa getting beat 3-0 by Walsall or whatever. And so they're supposed to be made up of the next gen of players who are waltzing into these first teams. They're nowhere near the level.
No, they're nowhere near the level.
And Everton certainly aren't.
No, Everton's nowhere near the level. And then you have to find like individual loans for them all, and it has to play out the right way, and they have to be given games, and it's just like...
Say you're a coach, right? And you're looking at Everton, And you're going, any of those kids who are up and coming, who we can get in, and one might look okay in the 21s, and you bring him into your squad for the season, and he can't cope. Not that he's not technically good enough, because he is. He just can't cope because he's never played against people smashing into him and all. That's why these lads go on loan and don't do anything.
That's why Braden Game's such a unique player. We don't know if he's going to make it or not, but because he played men's football at 15, he's already used to playing in that environment. So bringing him into the academy, he's probably got that bit more of a street smartness and can play in those games and does stand out a little bit. And that, again, that's the problem. Going back to the original question, when players used to play in the reserves, they were playing with men who were desperately trying to get back into the first team. So it meant something to them because the financial cost of being in the reserves and not being in the first team was massive, not getting the bonuses and all the rest of it, because that's probably what made up their wages.
Also wanting to play in the first team. It was wanting to be a first team player.
But it was that idea, though, that you weren't that far away from it. With the under-21s, now they all know. Put it this way, if you're like 17 and 18 and there's you have anything about it, you're going to skip the under-21s. You're going to go either straight on loan or straight into the first team squad. There's not going to be any of this playing to anyone who's like. There's a thing of this, like any players playing in the under-21s. Like if they play more than a year in the 21s, they're never playing in the first team.
No,
if once it gets like 18,
it's not there anymore.
No.
When years ago when we were young, and I know this from playing in it. I remember I've said this before. Played against Liverpool at Melwood. When I was playing for Burnley, they had Nick Tanner playing. He played in the first team. They had Mike Marsh. He'd been in the first team. Steve Harkness, Steve McManaman. All these lads. So their reserve game was cancelled, which was why they were all playing in this. It was the eight team. It was called. Then it was the Lancashire League. And that, Nick Tanner marked me, and it was I'd done all right against him, but he gave me a few kicking, and I learnt more just playing against him, the strength of him and everything. But those lads wanted to get back in the Liverpool squad, and so therefore they were ready to play. And you seen, I remember McMahon playing in one for Liverpool. He just come back from injury, and people were trying to kick shite out of him. He couldn't get near him. Couldn't get near him, and he gave a couple of them a rattling, a couple of Steve McMahon challenges, to these young lads, and they come off buzzing because they played against him and he had the kicking and all that. The league, the reserves, was littered with players who were ready to get back in the first team. So you had that game to keep you fresh, ready to get back in. Yeah. And let's not forget, and it was a long time ago, but when Everton, Joe Royal's first game, he took over in that international break, and Everton had that reserve derby at Anfield, and Joe Parky and that played in it. Kicks and was brilliant, and was in Everton's team for the derby, which was the week later. And we beat Liverpool 2-0, and they used that dunk. Me and John Blame were talking about it the other day. Dunk when he come back.
5-2.
And that was 5-0.
Was it 5-0?
5-0 on the day. But he come on and played and scored 2 goals. And players had come back. Even Seamus has done it at the 21 level. But if that was a reserve league, Seamus Coleman would be playing, wouldn't he? Against other Premier League players. So you'd look and go. And then imagine if you're Isaac Heath, like Isaac Heath just done another brilliant assist last weekend. He's doing really well at the moment. He's gone into Accrington. Accrington, isn't he? He's gone into Accrington. John Doolin, who was at it as a kid. And he's done brilliantly. Another brilliant run last week in assist. He's doing really well. He's starting to look now going, well, you know what? Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. He's quick and he's bright. Maybe he's just a little bit of a late developer, right? But he's gone in and hit the ground running. But imagine Isaac Heath in that scenario of wanting to go out on loan, and there's reserve team, and Moyes is going near the end of the season, last season. He's doing really well, him. I'd like to see him with some first team players playing against other first team players. Harrison Armstrong. This is coming to the end of it, and he was at Derby, but a player like him where you go, he looks really good. What's he like? And he plays a couple of reserve games up against clever midfield players who are in the Premier League, and he holds his own. You can look and go, actually, he's ready. He's Merlin Roll could have gone in now, or Dibbling or whatever, but it's just like you understand him on one side of it, why they don't want to go and play in the 21s, because it's non-contact.
It's a waste of time.
But the other side of it is, and I can't get my head around it, is someone like Tierno Barry. Adam wanted to go and play the 21s.
But the only way I'd play, I said it last week. I said it last week, playing in that National Cup.
I think the Virtue's better. The National Cup's like
What's the
non-league
Virtue?
teams. The Virtue
It's not the same thing.
It's not. The Virtue Trophy and there's the National Cup.
Is there?
So, yeah. So
Two, is it two now?
yeah.
Okay,
so
so-
Everton have been entered into the National
Oh,
Cup. So
okay.
we've played Solihull Moors.
Oh, yeah.
And we've played Tamworth.
Okay.
Right? But in between that, we had Doncaster in the Virtue.
Yeah.
No, but it's good. 'cause
No,
we
I know.
play
I
men's
thought it
team.
was all one trophy.
No. So it's two. So therefore, that's good. It's good that Paul Tate's put the other lads in the National Cup. He's playing like National League level players, which is good because you're getting a bit of a kicking. But yeah, Barry could have played that maybe.
Yeah.
Them kind of
Beto
things.
did, didn't he, last year?
And Beto got himself into form. So I remember Nias doing it. I know he done it, albeit at the 21 level.
Yeah.
But he played games and scored goals. But if you had the Premier League, 2, if you like, and it was a genuine reserve league where pros could go and get games. Maybe you do it. Maybe it's 7 o'clock on a Tuesday. Now it's difficult because of the way leagues for fixtures are. But why wouldn't you want to play? If you trained all week and you weren't getting on, or you were getting on for 5 minutes in the first team, why wouldn't you want a game midweek or whatever against another Premier League side?
It's just impossible, though, isn't it, in many ways, because
of the games.
of the games, to get, like, loads playing in it.
I do think it's good for development as well, though. If you're in the under-21s and you're doing well, and there is a reserve league, and you know that, Dwight McNeil's playing in it, and a couple of others who are first teamers, that builds you up as well to go and play in it and do well.
It's good for kids'
Great for
development
the
because they're playing
development,
alongside.
That's what I mean, yeah.
Playing alongside a senior player, you can talk them through the game. This is what you should be doing. This is what you're getting coaching while you're playing the game.
Look at like Tom Huddleston. Went and played for Man United for 2 years in their youth. Jay Spearing still plays now, I think, for Liverpool in their under 21s.
I think he was doing it, wasn't he?
Still plays, doesn't he? Spearing, he's still in Liverpool's team. He's like
I think he was
35.
playing Liverpool's team, wasn't he? Man United's team. Paul, the Irish fella who, when he was at Sunderland, we destroyed him.
Oh, McShane.
Yeah, Paul McShane played in theirs.
Well, so did Huddleston.
That's originally what Thingo got signed for as well at Man United. Centre back.
Johnny Evans.
Johnny
yeah.
Evans got originally signed. They were like, no, we got no players. You're playing the first team.
You've got to play in the first team, yeah. But them kind of things really develops players. So you're right, Jerry. Don't know how it works, but it is a pity it's gone because that was a good way of keeping players' fitness up, getting players who have been injured back in, and really developing your younger lads to the maximum. If you're going in at Bragan Graham is going to get a chance and he's playing in a reserve game and he's up against someone like Craig Dawson who's played loads of Premier League games and all that, the experience.
Ultimately, we're now playing an era where clubs are buying clubs in other countries.
Yeah, of course.
Aren't they?
That's going to be the next.
And loading them. So, and that's how they're getting around PSR and all the rest of it. It's that's the next thing, isn't it? So,
Benjamin says, hopefully because of the Angus interview, it means you get more interviews with the players like Decore. David Murphy says, afternoon fellas, are you contemplating watch-alongs to explore the expansion and experience? You fellas would smash it.
No.
Honestly, no, David. We've done it in lockdown.
unless we got people who wanted to do it on our behalf, then
I mean the Redmen have a cast, don't they?
yeah, if we had like some people who want to come in
James
and do it,
might wanna
do it
come
on
in,
the
yeah.
channel, then. But I like to watch the game and then talk about it afterwards. Otherwise, you're not fully giving it. You're talking through it and you're playing up to it and all the rest of it. So.
Paz says, whenever we have expectations of an Everton win, they never seem to deliver. I hope that changes today and we get the win without fuss. Yeah, well, listen, that's where we've got to change. We'll know as a club, won't we? When we start expecting to win and they start winning.
Yeah.
That's when you know you're becoming a good side.
Yeah.
People's attitudes and expectation levels change. People are more confident, which filters through to the players. There's a little bit of arrogance there, not too much, but a bit there that we're good enough to go and beat these, and we go and do it. That's when we'll know. I've often said, me personally, I'll know Everton have flipped to being a really good side when they can go away from home and win like 3-0 on 3 or 4 occasions a season. Go away and just batter the opposition, and you come away with a 3-0, 3-1, 4-1. You look and then go, we are a good side now. It's great. Listen, great. I'll take 1-0 off someone's arse tonight. But going away, if we come in tomorrow doing the final word and it's like 3-0 and we've been real to Everton, I get that right. It's Wolves 0, Everton 3. Then they're the ones where you go, we done what we should have done, and it was brilliant, and we are starting to move now. So, David Atherton says, I agree with Baz, if we don't play them, we'll never know if they're worth the money we spent on them. Well, that's with Asno, isn't it? That's the flip, isn't it? The flip of the coin is, how do we know if he's any good? This is a lad who's been at La Mesa with Barca, then went to Bayern. He's done all right at Bayern, played a few games in the first team, been on loan at Valladolid, played 13 times in the Liga, come on in the Club World Cup in the summer again for Bayern, and we've bought him, and we haven't seen anything of him other than the Rome. We were in Atlanta when he had a little cameo and he was decent against United, and then he was obviously injured at Leeds, and then we saw him against Roma. We saw him, didn't we? And then since Roma, we've not seen him, have we? I don't know, he's been injured, but so when are we going to know if he's good enough?
Yeah.
I know he's got to impress the manager, and the manager spoke about Nathan Patterson over the weekend and what he's got to do. And I thought one of the things he said was quite telling, which was get himself in his best condition, which, tells you maybe hasn't been in his best condition. Get himself fit and train well. It's all quite telling stuff. So, Steve P says, was the reason you started more than the game channel so you could get the press pass, because they don't allow single club media to have it? It wasn't the reason, it was just so we didn't have to talk about how the press and Everton were. But it's still, listen, that channel's still there, and I wouldn't rule out us bringing it back under a dip. It's just the biggest challenge we've got is just finding what works the best for it. Because what we were finding was the lives we were doing every day were just a repetition of what we'd just done for an hour with Toffee TV. So if we could come up with a structure that we liked for a show or two a week, we'd do that. Because there's enough people who'd come in and get on it as well. But it's just knowing exactly what you want it to look like. Steve also says the set piece dilemma is another reason why we need a left back, someone who has that natural classic left foot like Baines and Dean. Michalenko's a solid defender, but he's one of the only left-footed players I've seen who doesn't have a good left foot. The way he strikes the ball's bizarre. It's like there's no weight to it. When you look at the way Kirk has put that ball into Salah, like there's that left foot, when he hits it comes back, it whips, doesn't it? Dewsbury all does it to a certain extent, but I understand what you mean, the way they strike the ball. A bit of culture, I think you're looking for. Paul Gold says, bloody hell, boys, I've been with you since 2017. Never knew it was that long. See, time does fly when you're having fun. Yeah, 2014 was the first video we did, and 2012 was the first time we worked together. So, yeah, been a long time. David Savage says, how far would you say someone like Braden Graham is off the first team?
Far. No, I don't mean that in like a horrible way. I mean like
technically very good.
No one should put any expectations on anyone who plays for the 21s getting into the first team, because I certainly don't.
He is only 17.
No, I'm saying he needs probably 2 loans, a growth spurt.
Needs to put a bit of muscle on, because he'd just get he'd just get bullied out of a game.
Yeah, I think he's got the natural attributes.
Got the natural attributes.
Just but yeah.
Calm. Good on the ball. Really good finisher. But is so slight. He hasn't got lightning pace.
I'd like to see him spend the second half of the season with a team. With a League 1 team.
Who's going to take him though?
Don't know. Anyone?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if this is the season where he just has a season.
I just think you're wasting your time.
No, you are, but what I'm saying is I'm not sure someone will take him and put him in their team. People who need the points.
Force them.
Maybe. David Murphy says, thanks for the response. It's only I see the figures that like Goldbridge do and thought it'd be another opportunity to broaden your subs and view. No, it's a great question. Fully understand your stance. Thanks again. No, it's a good question, David, and you know what? It probably would, and it might do it sometimes for all the wrong reasons, but it would undoubtedly.
But he's a watch-along, aren't he? He sits and watches other clubs and does watch-alongs and stuff. It's just never been our thing. Plus, we've actually got like lives.
But I like to watch. Well, obviously, home games were there anyway, aren't we? So he couldn't do it then, and because he didn't go to the game, does he? So he doesn't just do whatever he sort of wants. And I do like to watch and analyse the game as I'm going along and sitting here and having to talk. And there's moments that I wouldn't want on camera. I'm not going to lie, when I'm fuming. So, El Cell on the banks of the Royal Blue Mersey says Toffee TV should be Everton press conference before and after games. You know, the fans' voice. We come here for news first. Well, we are just fans who are talking. We don't speak for anyone other than ourselves. But what we do is we get loads of feedback from you people, which is key. It's absolutely key. But hopefully the press conferences will be next. You see, the thing what I don't understand, not what I don't understand, what they could do, Everton, is allow us in to press conferences. They don't have to allow us to speak if that's a Premier League thing. But they should have us in press conferences.
Just put big X's across our mouths, like kids who go in bars that are under the age and they have to have things on their arms.
But we had press access in the States, didn't we? And David Moyes seemed quite happy with the questions, I asked them, and I asked them some I thought were ones that supporters wanted to know, and he handled them all really well, didn't he? So
in a fair system, we would be in that room and we could ask a couple of questions. It's as simple as that. Yeah. There are without being disrespectful, there are people who go into that room, not the people themselves, the organisation they work for, who, if I said their name to you, you wouldn't even have a clue who they were. But because they cover both clubs, they fall into the remit of what they're looking for, and they don't have numbers like us. They don't have numbers like probably other channels have or other podcasts have. But they fit the criteria, and it is slightly annoying, that we are head and shoulders and knees and toes above these people, and it's just the way. That's not their fault. It's the people who run. It's the data code things. Everton, for those press conferences, can't let us in as such, but maybe Everton could set up other press conferences where we could go in, or maybe if a play, or maybe let us speak to the manager once every couple of months, or I don't know, once a month. Let us have an interview with anybody, a coach, a manager, a kit man, anything, just to get that link with the football club, because people will watch it. It's been proved. People will watch these interviews if you give them. So I don't know what the answer. I mean, I do know what the answer is. I absolutely do know what the answer is. But
let's see what happens.
We'll just see what happens.
James Graham says, "Do you miss more than a game? But probably takes a lot of your time." Well, it does, but like I say, if I get a format right, I am thinking about speaking to John about it today. If I can get a format right in my head that I'm happy with, that actually allows us to do something that is worthwhile doing, as in it's good enough to do, then we will do it. We'll do. James is excellent at that kind of stuff, so he can do it as well. It's just coming up with the format, that's all, that works, and that is good value for people watching, rather than just going, what should we talk about today, which is no good value because you're just doing it for the sake of doing it. But we can come up with a format that we're all happy with and we like, and we can get other people involved, absolutely we'll do it, mate. Mark 1878 says Goldbridge is a parody. He's got his moments, but it's not what we watch Toffee TV for. El Tel says, my point is Toffee TV's got more subscribers than the Echo, so should be allowed in the press conference. That's not just the Echo. The Echo, they're reporting locally, aren't they? There's no issue with that. It's just the fact that there is, like Ped said, I'm not going to name other things, but there are a few things where you go, what? and you think, how have you managed to get press accreditation? And it's because it's fulfilled something from that was relative about 20 years ago. So someone at Dataco who give you all the stuff have gone, oh yeah, that fits the bill, but it's not relevant in today's world, you know. So that's the disappointing thing. Z40 says you did a great job in the US in terms of raising the profile of the channel. Thank you very much. More Everton fans watch the show and buy the Echo, says LTL. It's more, yeah, listen, it's what it is, isn't it? Craig says, we saw with the Angus interview, Toffee TV are the shit. Good questions, makes for good interviews. Thank you very much, mate. So, yeah, right, we're going to go because we all got to get home, get stuff
James
set
has got
up.
to get home.
James has got to get home because
he's got to get past Snake Mountain to get home.
Yeah, yeah. So, Rod said, I used to watch more than a game to support the lads, but to be honest, I hate all the other clubs.
Yeah.
Fair play.
It also was secondary, so if anything Everton come up, you got to get rid of it. So how can you have like a thing that you're saying you're going to do every day and then something Everton comes up and we have to go, right, we're having to do that?
That's what I'm saying. If we could come up with a format that we all sort of went, yeah, that'd work, that. And we could do something like that, and I think that'd be good value for people, but not to just spit it out each day because it
becomes crap.
It does become crap, and then you can see that we're bored with it then, and then you're bored with it. So why would you waste your time? Do you know what I mean? But we'll see. Right, the last couple here, they are. Said that one. We said that one. David Savage on Mark Goldblood says, feel like his watch-alongs are fake. Saying shift for likes on shop. Yeah, but that's his model, isn't it? Yeah. That is his model, and he's a multi-millionaire from it. So he doesn't care.
But at least you know what you're going to get.
But you know what you're
going to get entertainment.
Yeah. You know him going, oh, for God's sake, he's done it again. That kind of thing. Yeah. You know, it's funny, but that's the character he is, isn't it? He's not. You know, he's not real, is he? Dave Murphy says those moments of fume are Goldbridge's USP. They are. That's what he's good at. And artificial intelligence, EFC. I mean, I love that name. On our Premier says, hi guys, great interview with the CEO. Hope we can do more interviews. Just wondering if you have any idea why someone thought it was a good idea to arrange the West Ham game on a date that coincides with the Labour Party conference. Hotel prices are sky high because of it. It's a thing, I imagine, called money.
I just don't think they're not interested.
They don't look. Sky just go,
interested.
We will give you a ton of money to be Monday Night Football under the lights. Hill Dickinson, the first ever Premier League game at the stadium under the lights. First Monday Night Football
Two teams that are not in Europe.
And two teams who aren't in
so
Europe as
all
well.
The rest of that week, it'll all be European fixtures. So you've got to look at all the other fixtures and see how many of the other teams clash with each other who are one and being in Europe. So...
Well, Hill Dickinson's the big pull because 4 of our first 5 are on live there.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, for it to be Monday night, they would have looked and gone, who can play Monday Night Football? And I bet you that probably us and, I don't know if there's another fixture that they could fulfill it that weekend. So you got to look at things like that as well. They don't care what's going on. Couldn't care less what's going on. They're not bothered if you've got to get a train, or they don't care about the West Ham fans having to get home. I don't care about you having to have a hotel. What, as if they care about any about that? We've not learned anything in 20 odd years. They could not care less. Don't be so naive.
Yeah. And Dave Murphy, what's the criteria to get press pass and entry into the press conferences? Got to be.
You've got to cover more than one team. And you've got to have a certain amount of written articles, and they are the two. And straight away, that is just nonsense, isn't it? In this day and age, that's just nonsense in this day and age. So
they're just to get you in the conversation. By the way, that isn't, even if you've got that, it doesn't mean you're getting it either. Yeah. They're just for them to open your application.
And the mad thing is, once you've got one, you can just have as many as you want. Genuinely, you can. When I was at Radio City doing stuff, I just got one to give me one. I had a press pass because I was doing it on behalf of Radio City, even just for one game. You have your press pass
with like other people in the press box, all sorts who don't write anything, walking around there, getting free stuff, and you see if
like what you do. I'll make the tea for everyone. He has a press pass. Go make the tea at the new stadium.
That's it.
Stuff.
That's it. Right. beautiful people. Make sure you like, subscribe, enjoy the game, and come on, Everton. Just get the job done.
We'll see you after the game.
See you after the game. See you later. Bye.